School world, it's your boy Ro. It's been a minute, but I got to get back to sharing the wisdom, the knowledge, everything that I've attained. I think oftentimes in life we have this misconception of feeling like we need to learn more before we can share what has been put on our heart to share. I've been one of the main ones I can say that I know of, right? I'll just start with myself that fell victim to that thought process, right? I need to know more. There's more I can know before I help others grow. But looking back on it, man, I've come so far that it would be an injustice for me not to share the wisdom that I've attained with you guys as often as possible. So with that being said, I got a major download. This was some months back, and I'm gonna start being more consistent with my postings, so bear with me. But I got a major download some months back, right? And I was in a dream state. I was in the astral plane, traveling, and I was visited by physical representations of Big Mama, Papa Spirit, and then the son, right, and the daughter. So I'll give you a brief breakdown of how my spiritual team is set up, right? So Big Mama is Mother Universe, Papa Spirit is God. So just like with the Ankh and how you need the masculine, feminine, and the masculine principle and the feminine principle to create. That's the way I believe in my creator or my creators is I believe I have a mother and a father, or I know I have a mother and a father in the heavenly realms, right? So my mother, I call Big Mama. You can call your mother whatever you call your mother, you know. My father, I call Papa Spirit. So you got Mother Universe, Big Mama, I call her, Papa Spirit, and that's the Holy Spirit, right? And then you have the offspring. So everything in nature has a principle, whether it be feminine or masculine or a mixture of both. I mean, everything has a mixture of both, but just put it like this, like the celestial bodies and the natural things that we or intermingle with, like let's say the sun, for instance. That's brother sun. That's a masculine principle. He is giving energy. He's pushing off energy. He's emanating energy that the whole planet can absorb, right? And then we have Sister Earth, because she receives that energy that the sun gives and then produces fruit, nature, things that we can absorb and eat, so on and so forth, right? All right, so then we have Brother Air, which is, again, a masculine, producing, causing action, right? And then you have Sister Water, right? Receiving, moving, creating, dealing with the emotions. So essentially that's how my setup is Big Mama, Papa Spirit, and then Brother Sun, Sister Earth, Brother Air, Sister Water. But anyway, I was visited in this dream that I'm talking about. Just wanted to give you a brief breakdown. In this dream, really a vision, right? Prophetic vision. I was visited by Big Mama, Brother Sun, and Sister Earth. Those were the three that visited me. And it was crazy because they came in the form of copper. Like they looked like you and I, if you are a copper person like I am. They came in the form of copper and just human. They looked human beings, but the difference was they were taller than me, right? And I took that as a display of spiritual ranking, right? So they were bigger than me. So that means they had a higher spiritual ranking. So as the dream happened, I was in this outlet mall, or just a mall, kind of like Lenox Mall per se. But I was in like one of the department stores, like Dillard's or Macy's, one of those, right? And I'm in there and I'm by the clothes, and then boom, they just popped up, all three of them, standing right next to each other. We started to share jokes back and forth, for laughing. I'm telling them, no, I'm taller than y'all, and I'm even measuring myself up against Big Mama, which is, like I said, Mother Universe. and she's probably like 2 inches taller than me, but we're having a good time, and it gets to the point to where we end up going back to back, like we're facing each other's backs, like both of our backs up against each other, and then we finally look in the mirror, and I can see she's taller than me, so I give it up, right? But then even Sister Earth was so much taller. She was probably like a couple inches. No, she was like an inch taller, and then Brother Son was like he was like 6'6", like he was tall as hell, right? So, but anyway, we're in this this outlet mall, just having a good time. I'm shopping around, looking at stuff, and come to find out, they're there to give me a message, right? So after I finish shopping, they just kind of like disappear, but then boom, the lights go out, pitch black in this mall, right? The mall just goes pitch black. Something like out of a movie, right? So immediately I'm like, oh shit, something's going down. It don't seem like no regular like power outage. It seemed like apocalypse, type vibes. And so we get into it, and I'm looking around the mall trying to figure out what's the next move. And immediately I'm like, I need to get the fuck up out of here. So I'm like, yo, I need to go get a car. I need to get up out of here. So I start taking off towards the exit. I'm booking, I'm running. As I get towards the exit, I see somebody coming back into the mall, and it's somebody I know. And he was like chasing these people. He was chasing after them. So he stops me. He's like, hey, row. I was like, yo, what's good? It's like, I'm about to get up out of here. He was like, no, man, I need your help. He was like, come on, man, they just stole my identity. I need you to come back and help. And I was like, bro, I can't even do it, bro. Like, I'm getting up out of here. I know where I need to go, and it's not anywhere inside of here. It's pitch black, people going crazy, they shooting in here. Like, all of this type of chaos is starting to take off, right? They starting to loot and take things. I'm like, I need to get up out of here. Ain't anything in here that important where I'm about to risk my life, right? And he was like, man, come on, bro. He's like, I knew you wasn't about that life. I knew you wasn't on that shit, man. You ain't about to slide for me. And it was like he attacked my ego. And because my ego got attacked, I ended up going to help this dude. So we running through this pitch black mall, chasing down these dudes who had stole his identity, his wallet, right? He was worried about his identity. And so we're chasing him down. He had finally caught up to him. He had jumped on his back and started swinging on the guy. I started helping him out. There was another, like 2 other guys. We start beating him up, and then we push the dude to the ground. And then the dude that had the wallet, my friend got the wallet back. The dude that had the wallet, you could see he had a gun in his pants, in his belt line. And I was like, oh shit. So I hop up and start hightailing it. And in my mind, I'm like zigzagging. So I started zigzagging, running. Luckily, we got up out of there, right? We run to the exit and we get out the door. And I'm like, dang, I almost lost my life trying to help this dude when I could have been out of here. Like, help him do something that I told him to do a long time ago, which is change your identity, right? I've been telling people for a minute to change your status. That's a whole nother topic if you want to learn about changing your status. So when shit shake, you don't get caught up in any of these camps. Follow me on Northern Star Study. But back to the story. So we get out the door. And I'm like, all right, bro, we need to get a car. So we go run. And find a car. I think it was like a Dodge Charger. It was like a Charger, SRT, something like that. Anyway, we find it, and then we hot wire it, get that thing started up, and we take off. And just innately, I know exactly where to go. Like, in my mind, I know there's a land that's safe from all the chaos. So I'm headed to that. I'm driving us towards that. I'm traveling towards that destination, right? Dang, the aura kind of big. It's out here. I don't know if y'all can see it. I definitely see it though. But anyway, so we get to the destination, and it was like this fenced off area, city. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Maze Runner, but kind of like that. And the third one, the Scorched Trials, where the city was fenced off, very high fences to keep out all the zombies and stuff. But it was like that. And we get there, and I see they have like a checkpoint. So you can drive up, you can park your car, whatever, but you can't get inside the city without going through the checkpoint. So we walking up to the checkpoint, and I'm like 4 or 5 people behind in line. And as I get there, to the as I'm getting closer and closer, I can see what they're doing. They're scanning people's hearts, and they start to scan. Man, I got messed up by the mosquitoes outside. I was just sitting in the sun, but the mosquito went crazy. But back to the story. So they're scanning people's hearts. Some people are making it in, some people are not. So I get up to there and I'm feeling good. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm about to. So they scan my heart. Bling. Green light. I get, I'm let in. My homeboy who's with me, he gets up, it's his turn, he was right behind me. Boom, they scan his heart. It was like red. And he was like, wait, go again. Scan his heart. So he didn't get to go in. So instead of just me just walking straight in, I take him off to the side and I have a conversation with him. And what I said to him is what I'm trying to tell to everybody else right now. And as I say this, it's 11:11, new beginnings, right? So I meant to share this, right? But what I said to him is what the message is, right? If you want to make it into that safe zone, 5D, eating the promised land of milk and honey, whatever it is, you want to make it into that safe zone. 1, your heart has to be pure and light as a feather, because that is what will be scanned. It's going to sound out there to a lot of people, but the one way to make sure, or there's 4 ways that was given to me in the dream, to make sure your heart is pure, light as a feather, is you must, and it's imperative, you must eat right. That means get rid of the meat and all the animal byproducts. If you can, get back to fruit and detox and all of that, and detox for at least 30 days. I just did like 45 days, almost 50 days. I did 48. Yeah, I did 48 days, and I'm about to get back on it. I'm about to do another water fast. You gotta have your temple clean, right? Second thing you need to do is meditate. You have to clear out the mind. So the mind is not pure. The heart can't be pure. They work in symbiosis, right? So you have to clear out the mind. Meditation helps that. Helps clean up the body. Meditation produces melatonin when you get into meditation. And melatonin, literally, once it's released in your meditation, because the pineal gland is activated, once the melatonin releases, it actually kills off cancer cells. It kills off harmful cells in the body. So meditation helps purify the body and the mind, right? Which will help you purify the heart. Third way is grounding, meaning get outside, put your feet in the ground, especially when it's sunny, but even when it's not sunny. Grounding helps the body rid itself of negative, positive ions, which are actually the negative ones, right? It helps rid itself. So just different joint pains, things of that nature, you'll no longer suffer from, because you will be releasing those positive ions that like to sit in your joints, like to sit in your muscles. You'll be releasing those into the ground, which the ground can use and convert and give us back beautiful things. Right? So grounding is amazing, and it also helps you release spiritual energy that you've taken on, right? From the people around you, if you got negative people around you, so on and so forth. So that's the third way. So far we've got meditation, right? Eating right, and grounding, right? So those are the first 3 ways. The last way is sun gazing, right? So if you know anything about the sun is the soul of this dimension, this universe, right? Right, so that's why in Spanish it's spelled S-O-L. It is literally the soul of this universe, this particular dimension, right? So you take the old saying, the eyes are the windows to the soul. You have to connect your soul by putting your eyes on this planet's soul and allow that to do the work to unwind any of the trauma that you have, any of the low vibrational frequencies and energies you have, and allow it to feed you, because it's so many vitamins and nutrients that the sun gives off. Not only that, every time there's a CME, there's very potent solar energy that's coming down on the planet that can help you unlock some of your DNA, right? Help tie you back. So light is information. So there's also knowledge in staring at the sun, because the sun will deliver you knowledge that most 99.9% of the world is not going to have access to. And I know most people are not going to see this video, and that's okay. It's just for a certain few. Those who are meant to see this will see it, and that's on God. So sitting in the sun, grounding and sun gazing at the same time is very powerful. You will come out of that session, if you can do 20 plus minutes, because that's what's recommended for a grounding session, to really release all the antibodies or positive ions that you possibly can. 20 plus minutes, right? Ground and sun gaze at the same time. If you've never done it before, take your time, do some research. You may want to do it early in the morning, late at night. Me, I can go out in the hottest part of the day and look directly into the sun, and it doesn't harm me. So build those things up. It took me years to get to this point, but because of how things are happening and the CMEs that are occurring, if you're just now getting on your journey, it's like you'll pick it up like this, right? And I'm just here to be like a medium to kind of like help guide you, tap back in with yourself. So those are the 4 ways to make sure you make it into the safe zone, into the Garden of Eden, into the Promised Land, because I'm not a fearmonger at all, but things are changing on this planet, and it's for the betterment of the species. It's for the betterment of us moving forward, right? So those 4 things: eat right, clear out the body, eat right, stop taking in the meat. They're GMOing a lot of it. They're producing a lot of it in labs. Just let it go. You've had it all your life. There's so many great vegan alternatives now. You won't even miss it, man. I can do some things with lion's mane and king oyster or oyster mushrooms that you would think it's meat. I can make some oyster mushroom wraps that you would think you're eating pulled pork or pulled chicken. But anyway, that's another story, because your boy's a chef. So let go of that. Start eating right. Get back into meditation, right? If you've never started, great way to start is start with doing at least 5 minutes. 10 minutes is the best starting point, but start with 5 minutes. Sit in the dark, because from the darkness comes light. Sit your tail in the dark. And if you want me to, I'll put out a video, drop in the comments, I'll put out a video breaking down each one of the 4, how to properly get into it. So that way people can start making leaps and bounds towards improving. So yes, sit in the dark, 10 minutes. Start off with 10 minutes and focus on not thinking. Just don't even focus. Just get to the point to where, this is my favorite analogy that I've made up, is you're on a river. This is the point. You don't want to be taking in thoughts. You don't even want to be entertaining your thoughts, because your thoughts are like bad kids. They'll keep trying to annoy you as long as you entertain them. So as long as you go into the thought and start thinking about the thing that popped up in your head, they're going to keep coming, right? So my favorite analogy is you're on a river, you're in a canoe, right? You're going down the canoe, and on the river bank, you see all these people holding up signs. Each sign has a different saying, a word or phrase. Those people are representative of your thoughts. Your goal is to stay focused on the river. Just continue to flow. Don't give those people on the riverbank any attention, because if you do, you might miss a rock in the river and boom, crash your boat. Now that's not gonna happen in meditation, but you're not gonna crash, but it will mess up your flow. Essentially, it's the same thing. If you pay attention to those people on the bank, you crash into a rock, it messes up your flow. So just try your hardest. If you do get a thought and you do entertain it, once you realize and you're aware, you become conscious of the fact that you're entertaining a thought and going down a rabbit hole, just tell it thank you, lock back in, Go back into your meditation. One thing I like to focus on, play some music in the background and just focus on the music. And when I say music, I mean like binaural beats or classical music, or frequencies. Like if you just starting out, 432, 417 is good. 596 is another good one. And then you can do all the angel number 1, 777, 888, all of that stuff, yeah. So that meditation, get into meditation, grounding, sun gazing, gave you breakdowns on those. That will help you get in to the place. But you got to get on it. You can't sit around and wait. You got to get on it, right? This is the time for you to level up, tap back in with yourself, right? The world, we've seen it. Oh, it's so great to have all these material things, is it not? But when you get down to it and you have all these material things, but then you still realize there's something missing, that's when you know, I need to go within, right? And a lot of people that have all these material things because they put their love of the dollar, of the material, of so on and so forth, not saying these are bad things, right? But just saying the love of them, they're putting that above the love for themselves and their love for the Most High, right? Because you spend more time working on being a part of this world than you do being a part of the heavenly or the, you see what I'm saying, the spiritual world. Which you should, you're in a physical vessel, but you should also have a connection, right? And be spending time daily on making sure that connection is active and thriving, right? So with that being said, you need to make sure your heart is clean, because when things shake, and it's not an if, I'm giving to the end of 2025. Reason why I'm saying this, if you follow my page, Northern Star Study, I've been showing you what they're doing to plan another scandemic. It's not even an if. If you go to the WHO website, it says it's inevitable. It is not an if, it's a when. And the when that I'm seeing is 2025, right? So get it in, folks. I'm giving you guys this with love. The people meant to see this will see it. You need to get on your ish now. Eat right, meditate, ground, sun gaze. If you need to continue to work your jobs and all that, that's fine. But do not skip out on doing these things. It is necessary right now. If you do not want to end up in these camps that they're about to release. In these, because quarantine camps, it ain't for me, and it ain't for none of y'all, but if you want it to be, it can be. I'm giving you the steps to make sure that you know how and where to go. You'll only receive the messages if you have a direct connection with God. I can't save you. Only you can do that. I can help guide you, but it's you that has to make the decision like, hey, I'm going to create a one-on-one connection with God by doing these things. 4 things. Eat right, meditate, ground, sun gaze. And then God will start to communicate with you one-on-one. Just like in the movie The Knowing, Nicolas Cage, his son had got a piece of paper from a girl back in the day, and he just started getting these messages, and he knew where to go to make it into the 5D at the end of the movie. The messengers, they look like, they try to create them to make them look like bad characters, but really what they were showing them were angels, archangels of light, and they were guiding them to the 5D. And the reason why I say the grounding, the meditating, and all that, it's going to, now in the movie The Knowing, let me say this first. In that movie, only kids can make it into the 5D. But in reality, it's anyone with a childlike spirit will be able to make it into the 5D. Because if you have a childlike spirit, your heart is purified. So when they scan that heart, it's light as a feather. That's why kids run around with no worries. They out here, their heart is pure. And they have no worries, no concerns. They don't have any traumas on them. And these 4 things will help you get rid of all the things that could put and weigh down your heart. So Just like in that movie, only children could make it into the 5D. But in reality, this is what's been downloaded to me. Anyone with a childlike spirit, meaning your heart is pure and clean, and you have stepped into a relationship with the Most High, Big Mama and Papa Spirit, to where you're able to receive the messages, where you know where to go, you know what not to get involved with, you know what to avoid, right? So it's been long enough now. My timer just read 25:25. Man, I love y'all, man. I really do. Unconditional love, for real. I've been away and I've been working on myself, going through my own things, but we back in just enough time. And I'm gonna share enough to where until we start to see heaven all around us. And once we see heaven all around us, then I can take my ass back up to the sky. You feel me? But other than that, man, it's love. It's your boy Ro. Tapping in one time. If you got any questions or concerns, or you want me to do a breakdown on how to properly tap into all four of the things that are listed in order to make sure your heart is pure and clean and you can make it into the 5D, drop it in the comments. Other than that, I'll be dropping more and more downloads as they come into me. I got so many stored up that it's gonna be wild. Anyway, it's all love. It's your boy Ro. One, be well.